When a mother gorilla refused to eat for 3 days and wouldn't let go of her baby, the caretakers knew something was terribly wrong. But it wasn't until they saw the look in her eyes that they finally understood what she was desperately trying to tell them. What happened next left everyone speechless. Before you watch, remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss another touching story like this one, and write in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is. Morning mist over the Rwandan shelter. Pen 7. Kira sat on the flat rock, newborn pressed to her chest. Maximum, her first. She hadn't looked away since the birth, not when she drank, not when she moved through the pen at night. The other females called to her. She answered with low rumbles. Mine. David Thompson leaned on the fence. 15 years with gorillas, never seen a mother this devoted. Then he noticed it. What the staff had been whispering about all week. Max wasn't gripping anymore. Those tiny fingers that should clutch her fur hung limp. Kira adjusted him, waiting. Nothing. Something wrong with the baby? Emily behind him, notebook in hand. Probably tired, but his gut said otherwise. He raised the binoculars. The baby wasn't sleeping, eyes wide open, fixed, locked on his mother's face. Not curiosity, stillness. Wrong. When Kira gently nudged him, he hardly reacted. She moved him again, held him tighter. The baby's lips trembled, but no sound came out. His chest moved up and down in quick, uneven breaths. It's been really hot, David muttered. Maybe he needs water. Emily shook her head. She keeps him in the cool areas. Look at her. She senses something's not right. Kira shifted slightly and David saw the tension in her body. Every muscle tight like a rope, pulled too hard. She lifted Max until their faces were level. For a long, frightening moment, neither moved, no touching, no playing, just that stare. 15 minutes passed before David exhaled. That's strange behavior, he said. Not for her. Emily stepped closer. Do you think he's losing strength? He didn't answer. Get me yesterday's feeding notes. When he approached the fence, Kira didn't charge or growl. She simply turned away, shielding Max with her body. Her lips quivered. She pressed her forehead to his in a slow, deliberate gesture. A worry sign David had seen only once before, the day another mother's baby had fallen ill but recovered. Kira, he called softly through the wire. Let me take a look at him. The mother's eyes met his. They were wet, reflecting the morning light like mirrors. The sound she made wasn't threatening. It was a deep, trembling hum that filled the air with both warning and pain. David felt Emily's touch on his shoulder. She's scared. She's asking for help, he whispered. He grabbed the radio from his belt. Dr. Wilson, are you near the lab? Static crackled. Then, yes? What's going on? I need you at Gorilla Pen 7. Baby might be in trouble. Could be dehydration or something more serious. Define more serious, the vet replied. David watched the mother and child. Max tried to lift one arm, small and shaking, trying to reach Kira's face. The movement was sluggish, almost mechanical. He's having trouble swallowing, could be his nerves or an infection. I'm coming now. He lowered the radio, watching Kira rock her baby. She swayed him gently, making those deep rumbling sounds that normally helped him fall asleep. But the baby's head just hung loose. His eyes stayed open, locked onto hers like he was asking for something. Emily's voice cracked. She's trying to wake him up, she said. Yes, David replied, and she doesn't know what else to do. He felt tears forming, but forced them back. Open the side panel, let her see us, but move slowly. When the light changed, Kira blinked hard, looking puzzled. For a second, David saw hope in the way she held herself. She thought help was coming. Hang in there, little guy, he whispered, placing his palm on the glass. "Stay with us." Kira hummed again, rocking faster now. Max's fingers twitched once, then went still. "Emily," David said quietly. "Prepare some sugar water in case we can get close enough." "Should we go in? If he's getting worse, we don't have a choice." They stood there helplessly. The other gorillas in the neighboring pen started pounding their chests, reacting to Kira's distress calls. The whole facility seemed to vibrate with worry. David cursed under his breath. 15 years at this job and it never gets easier, he said. Emily nodded, tears in her eyes. "She's begging us," she said. Kira turned again, positioning herself between them and the baby. She bared her teeth once, a warning, but kept her hands on Max's small body. She brought his face close to hers and touched her nose to his, breathing on him as though trying to give him her own breath. David felt his throat tighten. "That's instinct." "She's trying to help him breathe," he said. The radio buzzed with static. Dr. Wilson's voice came through low but hurried. "I'm entering from the east gate." 2 minutes. David's fingers gripped the rail hard. "Make it 1. "He's barely moving," he said. Kira shifted again, pulling Max closer, making small hooting noises mixed with her hums. The sound was heartbreaking. Half lullaby, half mourning. Emily spoke quietly. "She hasn't eaten since this morning." "She's just been sitting right there," she said. David kept his eyes on them. "She's counting on us to save him," he said. He pressed the radio button again. "Wilson, bring equipment for infant respiratory problems and prep a tranquilizer. We might need to separate them." "Understood," came the reply. David looked down, his voice unsteady. "Don't hate me for this, Kira." "We're trying our best," he said. The baby's hand slipped from her fur. Kira froze. Then she made a sound none of them had heard before, a deep, trembling wail that carried through every cage in the area. Emily covered her mouth. "Oh God," she said. David forced himself to stay calm. "Keep quiet." "No noise. Don't move suddenly," he said. He turned to the worker nearest the gate. "Get the vet here now. Something's really wrong. Emily didn't wait." She ran down the pathway, radio in hand, voice shaking as she repeated his words. Through the glass, Kira sat motionless. She wasn't screaming or throwing things. She was doing something worse, staying completely silent. Her silence covered the entire pen like fog. David's heart pounded as he watched her. "Come on, keep holding him." "Help's almost here," he said. The gate alarm beeped twice. Dr. Wilson appeared with a small black case. He was breathing heavily. "How long has this been going on?" he asked. 3 days of poor appetite. Got critical this morning," David answered without turning away. Wilson knelt by the observation glass. "Any seizures, convulsions, discharge?" "Almost no movement, no sounds," David said. "He's conscious, but it's like he's fading." Wilson sighed, deeply, studying them through the glass. "We can't do anything from out here. We'll have to sedate her," he said. Kira sensed something different. Her body went rigid. She drew Max closer, wrapping both arms around him, swaying gently. The baby's head drooped against her shoulder, eyes half open but no longer focusing. David's throat felt tight. "She knows we're trying to help," he said. Wilson signaled to a worker by the gate. "Get 1 light tranquilizer ready. We don't want her out too long." Emily returned, face pale. "Do we have a baby oxygen mask?" she asked. Wilson nodded seriously. "In the case. Let's hope we can stabilize him," he said. David gave him a determined look. "We have to try everything," he said. They waited for Kira to move toward the back of the habitat. When her breathing slowed, Wilson raised the dart gun. A soft hissing sound. Then the dart hit her upper arm. She flinched, growled once, then looked around confused. "Kira, it's all right," David said softly through the speaker. "We're trying to help. We'll bring him back to you." The drug took effect in under a minute. Her eyelids drooped, her movements became slow. Even drugged, she wouldn't release Max from her hold. David and Wilson entered carefully, not wanting to upset the group in the next pen. "Stay quiet," Wilson whispered. They knelt beside her large form. Up close, David could see how thin she'd become. Stress had worn her down. Her fur looked dull, her arms trembled even while sedated. He touched her hand gently. "Good job, Kira. We've got him now. I promise we'll take care of him," he said. They carefully lifted Max from her chest. His tiny body felt hot. Too hot. Wilson's fingers pressed against his chest. Weak pulse, shallow breathing. "High fever," he said. David's stomach dropped. "What do you think it is?" he asked. "Let me examine him." Wilson pulled out a stethoscope and small flashlight. He listened for a full 30 seconds before speaking. Irregular heartbeat, pale gums, labored breathing. "I think it's a severe respiratory infection, possibly pneumonia. His immune system is struggling," he said. He began chest compressions while Emily held a mask connected to the portable oxygen tank. Small puffs of air filled Max's chest. For a moment, nothing changed. Then, a faint wheezing sound, followed by a small cough. "That's good. That's a response," Wilson said quickly. "Come on, little one," David whispered, his hand on the baby's arm. "You have to fight. Your mom is waiting for you." Kira stirred behind them, barely awake. She made a low groaning sound that rumbled through the ground. Her hand reached out, searching empty air. Wilson worked quickly, checking Max's temperature and vital signs. "His fever is dangerously high. We need to get him on antibiotics and IV fluids immediately. This is treatable, but we have to move fast," he said. They wrapped Max in a soft blanket, connecting the oxygen tube and preparing a small IV line. David took one last look at Kira before standing. "I'll go with him," he said. "No," Wilson said firmly. "You stay. She'll wake up looking for her baby. You're the only one she trusts. I'll take good care of him, I promise." David hesitated, then agreed. "Save him, Doctor." "Please," he said. Wilson nodded seriously. "I will do everything I can." Wilson and Emily hurried out with the baby, their footsteps fading down the corridor. The gate slammed shut. David crouched beside Kira, speaking gently. "They're helping him. He's sick, but Wilson is a good doctor." "You did everything right, Kira. You knew he needed help," he said. She blinked, eyes foggy, her fingers curling around his boot as if asking him to stay. Hours passed slowly. Rain started outside, drumming softly on the metal roof. David remained sitting against the pen wall, watching Kira's slow breathing. She was fully awake now, sitting upright, her eyes constantly moving toward the entrance. She made soft, questioning sounds, asking where her baby was. "He's with the doctor," David kept repeating gently. "Wilson is taking care of him." As the hours stretched on, David's worry grew. He kept checking the radio, but there was only silence. Finally, as the sun began to set, the radio crackled to life. Wilson's voice came through, tired but relieved. "David, the antibiotics are working. His fever broke. He's going to make it." David felt his knees go weak. "Are you sure?" "I'm sure. It was bacterial pneumonia. We caught it just in time. He's breathing better, eating a little. Give us 2 more days to stabilize him completely, then he can go home." David pressed his hand to his face, overwhelmed. "Thank you, Wilson." "Thank you." He turned to Kira, who was watching him intently. "He's okay, Kira." "Max is going to be okay. he said, his voice breaking. Kira made a soft sound and touched the glass where his hand rested. 2 days later, they brought Max back. Wilson carried him carefully into the pen while David opened the gate. Max made a small sound, and immediately Kira rushed forward. She stopped just short of him, her hands trembling as she reached out. Then she scooped him up and held him tight against her chest. Max's tiny fingers grabbed her fur, holding on with renewed strength. Kira brought him close to her face, touching her nose to his, breathing him in. She made soft rumbling sounds, rocking him gently, checking him over and over. "Look at that," Emily whispered, tears streaming down her face. David couldn't speak. He watched as Kira settled onto her rock, cradling Max as he nursed. She kept one hand protectively on his back, her eyes never leaving him. As the sun painted the sky orange and gold, David stood by the observation window one last time. Kira looked up and their eyes met. In that moment he saw gratitude, trust, and understanding. She had asked for help the only way she could, and this time they had understood in time. David placed his hand on the glass. "You're welcome, Kira. Take care of your boy," he whispered. Kira tilted her head slightly, then returned her attention to Max, humming her lullaby. But this time, it wasn't a song of grief, it was a song of hope. Over the following weeks, Max grew stronger. He played, explored, and never strayed far from his mother's watchful eyes. And every morning, when David passed pen number 7, Kira would look up and acknowledge him with a soft grunt. A simple greeting between friends. Between a mother who had refused to give up and a caretaker who had refused to let her down. Did you enjoy this story? Do you think animals feel emotions like we do? Yes or no? Let us know in the comments below. If you like the story, subscribe to this channel and leave a like. Thanks so much for listening. See you in the next video. Have a great day.